Rosa, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about real estate. You
Sure.
love sub two. Could you tell the audience what a subject to deal is? What's
Yeah.
that mean?
So, subject to is a strategy where you purchase a property subject to the existing mortgage. That means that you go and tell the buyer, "Hey, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, sorry, Mr. Seller, um, I want to help you get out of whatever situation they're on, and I can make payments on your mortgage."
Hmm.
And so that's what it basically is. It's not an assumption because to assume a loan, you have to get permission from the bank. This is just they deed you the property and you make payments on behalf of the seller. That's what subject to is about. Mhm.
And you've done this for a little bit, but why is there a lot of opportunity in that space right now?
I mean, uh, whatever uh, every property that has a mortgage with a good interest rate is a good
Yeah,
opportunity to purchase
yeah,
a subject to. And there are a lot of reasons because they tell me, why would anyone would like to do that? And there's a lot of reasons why, people, they just don't want the property anymore. They can be, tired landlords that tenants are terrible tenants and they just want out. Or they're facing foreclosure and they don't have any other option and you can help them paying the arrears,
yeah,
or people need to. They just bought the house. The house doesn't have any equity, and they need to move to another state, and they
yeah,
can't sell the house because they will lose money. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you can purchase properties with a subject to.
yeah. I I I see a lot of opportunity right now because a lot of people refinanced in 2021
Hmm.
at a low interest, but now maybe they want to move. But by the time they pay, let's say they bought a $300,000 house,
Hmm.
what do houses sell for in Austin? They're high, aren't they?
The what?
How much does a house sell for in Austin, Texas right now?
Oof, the market here, I can tell you, just it can go from $450,000 and up. It's an
So
expensive.
let's say it's 450,000 and I have to pay, let's say I bought it in 21. That was
Mhm,
when the Austin market was really high, I think.
mhm.
It went up a lot in 2021, 22. And I think the Austin market has kind of stayed flat or gone down a little bit since then, right?
Yeah, yeah, but not much,
So,
huh? But still.
okay. But the opportunity I see in subject to is if somebody bought a house for 450,000 and they have to pay the realtor fees at 6%, right?
Mhm.
That's going to cost them I think almost 30,000,
Uh-huh.
right? And so it makes it hard for them to sell a house because they haven't earned back that equity in the house yet to
Right.
be able to sell it and
Mhm,
break even.
mhm,
But you can come in and you can say, I'll take over your note
mhm,
and we don't have to pay realtors and I will give you some money. I don't know if
mhm,
you do that, but some people give money when they do it, a little bit of cash for keys, and
mhm.
you take over and it actually really helps them out of that situation, right?
Yep. Mhm,
And
mhm,
then, but for you, it's attractive because you get to take over their interest rate that's really low.
mhm,
And then you're going to do some creative things on the back end,
mhm.
which we can maybe talk about. You're going to do what they call a wrap, I think, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And you're going to package it up and resell it. But um, it's a lot of the thing I see it's really good is it really helps a lot of people out because it fixes a lot of problems
Yeah.
so the
Yeah.
house doesn't get foreclosed on.
Yeah. Yeah. I really do, and not only if it gets foreclosed, because I always tell them, okay, so if it's gonna get foreclosed, your credit score is gonna be really uh,
Yeah,
down. But if I take over the payments, then you will build up your credit score again, and then
yeah,
that's gonna be beneficial for you. That's why I always tell them. So it's good for them. But there's also a lot of people that they don't want the house because they've been landlords. They had a terrible experience with the
yeah,
tenants, and they're just fed up, and you can help them. They deed you the property, and you take over the payments, and they don't have to pay for that house anymore. So yeah.
Rosa, is all this stuff that you're talking about, is that something that anybody can do, or is it have to be special people like you or me that does those things?
I think anybody can do it, but you have to, I mean, you have to know how to do it. I mean, you
Yeah,
have to get educated, and you have to take a course, and you have to have someone to guide you, like what to do, what not to do, what can be the problems. If they call the note due, for example, of course, every subject to every deed of trust has a due on sale clause.
yeah,
Where the mortgage company, if they find out that you transfer the property, that the seller transferred the property, they can request a payoff, and they can call the note
yeah.
due. So this is, I mean, anybody can do it, but I mean, they have to get educated, and of course be responsible, because they have
Hmm.
to keep making the payments. They cannot
You
just
have
say,
to make the payments. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. They cannot just say, okay, I got the house, but if I don't have the money, I'm not going to pay it. You know, they can't do that.
yeah, yeah. That's good. Have you taken a course on subject two,
Well, that's
or
part
where
of
have you?
the program. That's part of the program that I took, of the course that I took. They really helped us with wholesaling. They introduced us to real estate, and they showed us that there was subject to. But the good thing is that um, after the course, my mentor or my coach was always available. So if I had
Yeah,
any questions, and he's an attorney. So if I had any questions, I just talk to him and say, hey, what do you do with this or with that? And he will guide me along the way.
that's so good. It's
Hmm.
so good. That was the best course you ever took, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I've taken a lot of this, and then a lot of from this one, and a lot of from Grant Cardone. But I will tell you that this was the best one, because you do have access to that person, to that mentor, for a long time, not for just 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Um, the what other parts of real estate? I mean, we talked sub two.
Mhm.
You've done some flips. Have you done some wholesaling, Rosa?
Yeah, just a few, but I really never liked wholesaling. I just at the beginning, but I just didn't like the $5,000 assignment fee, or
Yeah,
$10,000. I didn't like that. I knew that I could do much better than that. So yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's good. And then, but you have done some flips as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've done lots of flips, and I have my contractors. I mean, I changed a lot of contractors, but I now have my team of electricians, and plumbers, and handymen. So I love these guys. I think they're really nice guys, and I've learned a lot along the way, flipping
Yeah,
property. I can tell you that I've never lost, and just knock on wood, I've never lost any money, and knock on wood, and and so yeah, I've done that. I've also now done notes and wraps with the subject
yeah.
too, fix and flips. Yeah.
Tell us what a wrap is on the subject too.
Well, the wrap is when you purchase a property subject to the existing mortgage, and then you turn around and find the buyer, and create another loan at a higher interest rate, that will wrap the underlying note. So when you purchase a property subject to, and you wrap it, like I always say, this is great. You win three times. So you win with the down payment from the
Yeah,
buyer, you win from the cash flow, and you win. You profit when they sell the property, because their interest rate is higher than your interest rate.
Yeah.
So
Rosa, can you tell me a story of a house? Can you like tell me a house that you did where you did all that?
um, which one? Okay, so I don't know. There's a place in close to San Antonio. It's called Bernie, and
Hmm.
Bernie is a beautiful place. If you've never been there, it's really nice. And so there was this house that was going to foreclosure,
Okay.
and they she the sellers, they reach out to me, and we talked to them, and I think the arrears were not that high, but I said, okay, we'll take over the payment. It was a VA loan, and so I think it was a 3.5%. And they even came at closing with some money, like they came with
Wow.
5,000 more to pay for the arrears. Anyway, it was a big house at that time. The price of the house was $350,000, and
Okay.
it didn't need any repairs, and so we tried to sell it like right away, which is, it's been a mistake to sell my subjects, but yeah, what can I do?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we tried to sell it, but I don't know why, because it was a beautiful house. It didn't sell. So we decided to rent the house for a little bit. And the people that rented the house, they loved the house and they wanted the house so much. And they were building their credit. So COVID hit. And after, all the prices of the properties went up.
Yeah.
And so they came, okay, we built our credit and we want to purchase a house, and we sold it for $650,000.
Wow.
Like,
Was it cash flowing as well?
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Like the mortgage payment was $2,000, and they were paying $4,000 rent.
Wow. Okay. So you let me just repeat this as best I can.
Mhm,
You bought a house subject
mhm,
to on a 3.5.
mhm,
The owners came at closing with money.
mhm,
You guys took over the note.
mhm,
You rented it for 4,000.
mhm.
They had a $2,000 a
Mortgage.
month was your mortgage,
Mhm.
and then you held it for a couple years. How long did you hold it? 2 years?
I think we held it for 3 years. Yeah.
3 years.
Hmm.
And after 3 years, you sold it for $300,000 more
Yeah.
than the mortgage.
Hmm.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
anybody can do that, right?
Anybody can do that. And again, as long as they get educated on this.
Educated. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And there's lots of mentors out there. Who was your mentor again? I think you
Um,
told me at the
he,
beginning.
he's based in San Antonio. He's an attorney. His name is Victor Mas.
Victor.
Hmm.
Victor what?
Victor Mas, Maas.
Moss.
Victor Mas. Yes.
Okay.
And he's a good friend.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, if we just talked about you got educated, you spent $5,000,
Hmm.
and if you'd only done this one deal, it was worth it, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And that's only talking about subject too, because on the fix and flips, yeah, you can also get pretty good returns if you do it
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. I love talking real estate. That was a good deal. Um,
Yeah. I had another one. Let me tell you about another one. It was
okay, let's hear it.
um this was a small house that the owners had just bought. But I think they had two kids, and the wife realized that the house was too small for them, and they wanted out of the house. They wanted out, so they were not on foreclosure or anything, but they just wanted to buy a better home. So we came in, we talked to them, and we just took over the note. They didn't
Yeah.
want anything; they just wanted out. They just wanted someone to take over the note, and it was a cute little house. It didn't need much repair, And so we turned around and we found a buyer. You can find a lot of buyers that don't have access to traditional loans. So we
Yeah.
was another VA loan at 3.3% or 2.99, something like that. And we found another a buyer that gave us, I think the property was worth 335, and we sold it for, I'm sorry, 135, and we sold it for 145, 10,000 down. So the mortgage and the underlying mortgage and the RAN
Yeah.
mortgage were the same amount, but at
Yeah.
9%. But at 9%. And so we are cash flowing on that property $200 per month.
That's awesome. And
Yep.
and the cool thing is you also got paid 10,000, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because of
Without
that $10,000 down.
zero, zero.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to hear these stories. And it's your creativity, right? It's you using your brain
Hmm.
and seeing opportunity and taking advantage of those things.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, your degree is in science and data, right? So you love data. You, I mean, are
Um,
you really good at math?
yeah. Yeah. I'm like a, how do you say, a library rat. Yeah.
Okay,
I like underwriting, analysis, numbers. Yeah, that's my stuff. Hmm.
that's good. That's good. Um, where do you see yourself, Rosa, in 5 years from now?
I see myself doing much bigger deals, um, in the commercial space.
Tell me,
That's
give me your vision. Let me hear it.
um,
Is it retail? Is it self-storage? Is it
it's and
multifamily?
I thought about it. I love industrial, but there's so little offering out there, and a lot of competition. And multifamily, everybody needs a place to live, right? um I mean, i i I think I have a lot of stuff in my mind. I want to do that. I want to, buy a lot and just build 4 or 5 ADUs, small or tiny homes or
Yeah.
container homes in the lot, and just rent it out as a short-term rentals. I have a lot of things in my mind. But I can tell you, I want to do big deals. I want to start learning and raising capital, like
Hmm.
millions of dollars, and having these great relationships. And I want to be a passive investor as well. I just see myself there. I want to be a passive investor and not have to, you know, worry so much about, just waking up and having to go to work. Just
Yeah.
enjoy life a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, it's incredible to me what you've done in less than 15 years here in America with, coming here, burning your ships and taking advantage of opportunities and really, I mean, you tapped into real estate. I love real estate.
Hmm.
Because of what you said, it can be zero down and you can help people out of a bad situation. And I mean, you get to help people out of a bad situation, but then you also get to, if you do the wrap, you're helping somebody buy a house, right? So
Yeah.
you get to help both people and you get to be the middle guy in the middle
Hmm.
that gets to help them out. So good
Yeah.
job. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I think that too. You can help both sides. Hmm.
Yeah.
Because like I said, when I came here, nobody will rent me a house because I didn't have credit, or, so I want to help someone that might be in the same situation and, don't have
Hmm.
any credit to show, or, income or
Yeah.
whatever. Mhm.
That's so good. Rosa, as we wrap this up, if you were to tell me a book that you've read or a podcast maybe you've
Mhm.
listened to, what would
Mhm.
you say has been the most impactful book or whatever that you've ever read that has helped you?
Um, well, oh, about subject two. You know what? I have not read any books on subject two. I mean,
How about just anything, even on real estate or
well, there's a book
anything?
there's a book that's called 3 Feet from Gold. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, I've
Okay.
heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember the author, but I think it's it's a great book. It really came to my mind that you work so hard, try to accomplish something, and then you said no, I'm gonna quit, and you were like this close to
That
getting
way
there.
that
Close. You just have to pivot a little bit, and that's the only thing that you had to do. That's in my brain, that's in my mind when I work. Okay, so this is not working, so maybe if I pivot a little bit, what will I find what I want to find? I think it's a great book.
yeah. Um, the premise of that book is that these guys were digging a gold
Hmm.
mine, right? And
Hmm.
they dug and dug and dug and put a whole bunch of money into it,
Yeah.
closed it down, and someone else bought it
Hmm.
and moved over a little bit, right? And they hit one of the richest gold mines,
Yep.
but it
Yep.
was 3 feet over.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll look that book up. I've heard the story, but I've never read the book.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think it's a great book.
one more question for you. If if you had one message to tell the world, one message,
Hmm.
and this is Rosa's life message,
Hmm.
what would you want everyone to know?
Have a huge why,
Mm,
because that huge why will make you move mountains, whatever it is,
hmm.
whoever you want to impact, whoever you want to help. That
Don't you
was,
think the why has to be the right thing? If it's
oh yeah, yeah, of
if
course.
it's if it's
Yeah,
selfish, people see through it too, right?
yeah, yeah, of course, it has to be a why that it's, I don't know, that it's a good thing, not a bad thing. I mean,
That is,
I never thought about a why, but I guess you're right. I never thought about a why in like a greedy selfish way.
hmm.
I always think about a why of who can you help, or who can you impact, or
Yeah.
mhm. And
I
that,
heard a
yeah.
I heard a story recently about I don't know what war it was, but there was a ship that went down with a bunch of sailors, and this is going back to the why part. If the if the sailors had somebody to live for,
Hmm.
if their why was outside of themselves, they held on for 24 hours. But if it was just them, then they let go. And that's, I guess, why I think about the why, because if I have a why of being a millionaire,
Hmm.
but it's all for me so I can do whatever I want with my life and whatever,
Hmm.
it's not going to be as strong as, say, I want $1 million. I want to have enough money so I can write somebody a check for $1 million, and serve or whatever. That
Hmm.
why is going to attract, that cause is going to attract more people to want to help me out, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm talking about the why in terms of the person, not a selfish why, not like
Yes.
I want to be a millionaire, and that's my huge why. Although, well, a lot of people can grab themselves
Yeah.
into that, and achieve that. But I'm talking about a why of who do you love, who do you want
Yeah.
to impact. That's the why that I'm talking about.
Well, and earlier, your why was to give your daughters a better life. That was why you came here. And I
Hmm.
think that why is probably still prevalent with you pushing is to give your kids, you know, way
Yeah.
more opportunity and set up your grandkids even
Hmm.
so that they can succeed. And it's not about you though. I mean maybe it is, but
Hmm.
it sounds like your why is so much bigger than you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
It's not really about me or what I can give them. It's about um, you know having an impact on them so that with their own choices they can be successful in
yes.
whatever they choose to do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I love that. Have a huge why. That's great.
Hmm.
That's great.
Yeah,
So many people don't have the why and they just keep drifting along.
yeah. They keep complaining, sadly.
Yes. You
But
you have a post on Facebook. What's your post on Facebook about complaining?
what's my post on Facebook about complaining? I don't know. I
You have
have
a
some.
post on Facebook, something like I saw it earlier. Stop complaining and start taking actions and it will I can't remember.
Change your
It's
life.
really
Yeah,
good.
I have so yeah, I have so many of them. I have another one that says, um, I might not be wealthy, but I'm gonna wake up every morning and make sure that I'm not broke. Yeah.
Yes. That's so good.
Hmm.
That's so good. Well, thank you so much, Rosa. I appreciate this. And hey, how can people find you?
Well, they can find me in Facebook. And with Rosa Elena Tejado. That's my name on Facebook. They can find me on Instagram at Sell It to Rose. That's another one of my companies, Sell It to Rose. And I also have a group that's called Subject to Mastery. So if you want to learn and want to get value and add value in the Facebook group, it's called Subject to Mastery. You can just go in there and I'll make sure I accept your invitation there.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Marty.
We
Thank you for
we
having
sure
me.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you for
Yes.
having me.